Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm Mickey Mouse here. We are back for the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube. So last time we actually did tackle through Adventure Mode as Marth, and today for this episode we're about to be moving on back into All-Star Mode, and the final time we're going to be seeing All-Star Mode in this Let's Play because we're about to be tackling through the final character in the lineup, and that honor goes to Roy, from my I can tell, the second Fire Emblem character. So let's get started though, shall we? So how it works for Roy, he plays very similar to Marth, but there's actually a noticeable difference here, but we'll explain more on that later. But from now on, that he shared the exact same moveset as Marth, so he can still perform the up special attack, and the side special attack, and then the down special attack, and etc, and just standalone smash attack as well. Or in this case, a standalone special attack. So even then though, the noticeable difference is, if you probably can tell already, is the fact that for one thing, that he can every time he performs those specific special attacks, that he will be covered in flames, which we'll explain more on that later. And also, as you probably can tell already, that Roy himself was actually a bit more powerful compared to Marth. Although he still can perform, say, the counter attack or anything like that. But even then though, that of all the playable, or actually of all the character clones we're actually going to be playing as, Roy was actually one of my favorite characters to use, even for clone characters especially. And I'm glad to know that he actually makes a comeback in Super Smash Bros. 4 for the 3DS and even the Wii U, which I'm pretty sure a lot of fans will be really surprised by this. Or even including the likes of the Super Smash Bros. Brawl project there, Roy usually counts as a hack. But even then though, yeah, as you can see that right there, that if you're trying to use any of these smash attacks, that usually the up smash attack, that he can actually get himself some flame sword, which this means that he's pretty much flammable for the most part. So the only time he wasn't as flammable is the smash attacks like the sides, because although the only time it actually happens is the, up smash attacks, and that's about it. So yeah, he plays exactly like Marth, but except the fact that he is actually a lot more stronger and even more powerful than the likes of Marth though, however. Oh wow, we managed to actually kick out those opponents all at once. That's actually pretty incredible if you ask me. So anyways, now we move on to these two Zelda characters, most like how it does it in the Pichu's campaign, but this time, rather than just actually add in Jigglypuff in our hands, so instead we're actually going to be doing with, well, Young Link and Sheik, and somehow we're going to be competing against with them in Team Red. So anyway though, so much like Marth, that Roy was actually first appearance in Fire Emblem, and I'm pretty sure that according to some other researchers from some other Wikipedias and stuff like that. In fact, Mickey's going to actually double check on something when I was going to discuss about something. That the fact is just that in order to actually unlock Roy, it was actually pretty standard by the looks of it. In order to actually unlock him, you must able to be sure you can either complete Adventure Mode as Marth, or you can play Classic Mode as Marth. So even then though, it's entirely up to you if you want to actually provide you to doing so. So yeah, as far as memory is concerned, that's usually how this goes when it comes to this situation. So, and apart from those sides of things though, that you're actually going to be fighting him takes place in, I'm presuming, the temple level on, well, the Legend of Zelda franchise. So, and yeah, that, you know if you're actually trying to obtain a trophy or something, when you actually finally obtained Roy, assuming if you actually complete Classic Mode first, that his first appearance wasn't exactly the first ever Fire Emblem game on the NES. That honor goes to his first appearance until when it gets to 2002, because usually Super Smash Bros. Melee did first came out in 2001 as a part of the Nintendo GameCube launch title, and also that in Europe in the later day in 2002. But until when it gets to the actual 2002 year, among the same year as when Shantae came out on the Game Boy Color, this means is that there's a game called Fire Emblem, the Blinding Blade, which is, I believe, this was actually be the Game Boy Advance release game, and I'm assuming that what that was going to be at. But even then though, that's how it's actually his first appearance was actually going to be at. But even then though, that's how we managed to encounter that while doing so. But after all, as I mentioned earlier, that since this game came out in 2001, in North American and Japanese, in this case Japan only calls it Smash Bros. DX, or Deluxe, whatever you kind of prefer. But anyways though, so yeah, because even then though, as soon as you actually looked up on Roy's trophy description, at least the classic variation of Roy himself, it only just says future release, which just means Fire Emblem, the binding I can't remember exactly what that title called is now. I'm pretty sure it's Blades. So yeah, I'm quite surprised about that actually, because considering the fact that how since his movesets are very similar to the likes of you know, Marth, but except the fact that he's actually a lot more stronger compared to Marth. But again, in order to actually, oh god, we almost trying to get knocked out. But anyway. But again, in order to actually unlock Roy, you can either complete either Classic mode as Marth, or even complete Adventure mode as Marth. So it doesn't matter what option you're going to be select. So if you complete either of those two, then it doesn't really matter, because you can actually go for either of those two. So it's entirely up to you. So, but again, if you're trying to actually unlock him though, it will actually immediately takes in place in the temple level and the Legend of Zelda stages. So that's usually how this goes when it comes to that part. So now, originally, we decided to actually go ahead and do this on harder difficulties, but the trouble is, it's just that, obviously, judging by the fact that how I honestly found myself, the All-Star mode is by far the hardest mode to actually— oh, goodness gracious me, the Goomba in the box! It's more likely a sequel to how it does it when, you, Piglet, actually managed to feel incredibly shocked that how, the Goomba in the box was actually present if you actually be, playing Super Luigi Galaxy before. Oh yes, I remember that one time. When I got to the point when I was gonna deliberately trying to restore my health, even for when I was almost there to the final hit point for Bowser Jr.'s airship on Super Luigi Galaxy. You know, the kitchen dome final level in that particular kitchen dome, and then somehow that the Goomba just managed to pop out of nowhere whenever I was trying to ground pound the crate. And I was like, holy cow. Anywho though, so, you know, that's how it usually goes when it comes to All-Star mode in general. So basically it's more like the endurance run to actually think if you're actually trying to, you know, beat these a whole bunch of opponents though, and then that's all there is to know. However though, if you're trying to be using the continued, in order to actually use that, you must able to collect 10 coins or more, because if you run out of them, you probably get kicked out and you have to go all the way back to the beginning. So yeah, that's one thing I need to compromise to that. And I think that wraps everything up in All-Star mode, and also how Roy actually works out. But even then though, he plays very similar to how it does it for Marth does, but except the fact that he's actually, again, a lot more stronger and much more powerful this time. But even then though, out of all the clone characters I actually played through, this is actually one of my favorite clone characters to use. Because, you know, his stronger abilities, and also that his running animation feels very similar to Marth's though, however. So even then though, that's all there is to know when it comes to that particular character. So even then though, we only got one more character to showcase, and that is the form of Mr. Game & Watch, in the Adventure mode to be exact. But even then though, we'll get to that as soon as the next video comes. And there's this little really fantastic image of there's actually a team for Fire Emblem team, most likely Marth and Roy, about to compete against with, once again, Link, because Link is more likely a rival to Marth though. But anyways, let's go ahead and finish things off with this episode while actually doing with the Target Smash level. So much like Marth though, however, to me though, it kind of feels more likely exactly the same thing as Marth's version, but except the fact that the arena itself is actually a lot more smaller, just like how it does it for Luigi's. And even, what's another stage as I was going to be explained though? I'm pretty sure it was actually, jeez, I can't remember what it's actually called now. But we'll get to that eventually. So, yeah, this particular Target Smash level is pretty short and easy to begin with, but as soon as you're actually trying to realize that you're gonna have to get that target from those between these little centers. And then every time that if you're trying to attack the targets from the center, you should be able to try to actually just try to demolish them. So yeah, it seems it's rather not that bad though, but again, the only thing you need to worry about is that much like in Marth's target smash level, is these flippers will actually knock you off the course every once in a while. And also there's a little bit of a timing requirements going on, just like in Jigglypuff's break the targets level, is that you're gonna have to be right on with your pressing of your adjustment to your, you know, the side special attacks and what have you. And you're gonna have to do that wisely before you actually get the last 2 targets, although we usually found these other 8 targets to be too easy to obtain, but the other 2, like this for instance, like right between those little flippers right there, these were pretty tough to get. But even then though, we actually pretty much almost done with the break the target sequences until we actually pretty much gone through every single character at this point. So anyways though, so let's go ahead and try this again. Oh, we managed to get this time. And there we go. And a new record for that too. So yeah, it's quite short for the looks of it, but it can be quite tricky sometimes. So anyways, let's go ahead and end things off here. So join us next time of Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Melee that we're going to be tackling for the final character in the lineup. And the final time we're going to be exploring Adventure Mode. And after all that, we'll be moving on to the extra video for the later time. So anyways, see you guys next time. Later fellas, see you guys next time.